That now allows me, only a fraction equals fraction am I allowed to do this. That allows me to get the y on top that I want to solve for. Little trick of the trade. The other way is to multiply by y minus 1 and then divide by, that's what AP does. They multiply, divide, and then do all this algebra 2 cleanup stuff. All right, from here, what would I do? I'd multiply by negative, I agree. Multiply by negative. And our last step, get that fifth and final point. Plus 1. And it just goes off to the side. Now, if I show you, and I'll show you probably tomorrow, AP stops there. I was like, really? You're happy with that? I wasn't very happy with that answer. I'd like to combine those two. What was our skill that we learned to combine those real quick? Bow tie, yeah. So if I did bow tie, this would be like negative 2 plus x squared plus 1 over x squared plus 1. So it'd be actually x squared minus 1. So let's write a little or. Now you tell me which one kind of looks nicer. Yeah, you point on the right. I like that one too. But it doesn't matter. You guys get full credit for either one. If you're like, I like this one. AP stopped here. They chickened out. So they were good. It's the right answer is the right answer. I like that one better, but that's how you get your fifth point. All right. All right, to speed up the process, I'm going to show you this. This was worth 5. And then they had a part B where 2. Slope fields are always worth 2. Now that's 7 of 9. The question C could be anything. I don't even remember what question C was. It was 25 years ago, but it had nothing to do with chapter 6. So I'm not putting it here. We're working on chapter 6 stuff. But they may have asked, oh, is this possible or something like that. Not a big deal. Or what's the slope of a tangent line? Just some other question. But I'm just showing you part of the question, the stuff that we care about right now. So didn't we just do slope fields on Friday? Yeah. So we should be able to draw the slope field. Good little review. So to draw this slope field, I'm going to do this very fast. I'm going to pretty much tell you the answers because of time. But do you remember my little shortcut? We set the derivative equal to what? So say it louder. 0. What would make that 0? Be very specific. What would make this 0?
Just x is 0 and y equal 1.
When x is 0 and y is 1. So when x is 0 would be this guy, and this guy, and y equals 1 would be these guys. There's no dot here. You just did 7 of 11 dots. See how fast we could make it if we do those shortcuts? So on the AP test, we're like, well, I got those 7 done. I only have 4 to go. Now to speed up the process here, this one turns out, we plug it in. If I plug it in, I get -1. So that would look like this. This one turns out to be -4. As long as you guys show that steeper than -1, -4 is going to be aiming at like way up here. So I got to make it just steeper than that guy. This one's going to have a slope of 1. And this one's a steep of 4, or slope of 4 way up here. Like that. Super steep. Now, you guys know how to plug in the points, right? You guys know how to do all that? But that's what that one would look like. I want to show this to you guys so you guys can get an idea. Do you guys know what this looks like? You guys all passed trig, right? Here's the reason why I want you guys to put together. Watch this. I'll show you guys a graph of this real fast. Ugh, this pen's terrible. Do with the black here. All right. I'll go to the middle. So -1 and 1. Remember the numbers that make the top 0 called your x-intercepts. So -1 and 1 are where it crosses the x-axis. Whatever makes the bottom 0 is a vertical asymptote, there isn't one. The 0, -1 is your y-intercept. Your horizontal, if they tie, you check the powers, y equals 1. So this graph goes like this. Can you guys see that on there? So if I start at 0, -1, watch me draw it on here. It's flat here because that's a max or min there. The graph says go that way, flat. Then it says 4, like take off up. And then it says start heading this way. Actually, it crosses right here, and then it hugs the asymptote. There's an asymptote going right here. Same thing on this side, which is that graph. So can you see that on that slope field? That's why that's our graph. See, I want you guys to understand what you're doing. You guys are finding the original equation, and that's the slope field to that equation. Make sense? That's all the tangent lines to the curve. This is what you did on Friday. So like the tangent, look right here, the tangent line 0 here, and then it's super steep right here, 4 in this area. This one's a tangent line for a bigger one, for a different C finder. Your slope field is for all the C's, not just one. All right? So we're just drawing, that's what our graph looks like. Okay? So you can kind of see where it comes from. Just get an idea. All right? Make sense what this is all about? All right. We skipped 6.2 for now. We're going to go back and do 6.2 probably Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm just going to do problems with you guys. But I'm going to show you guys real quick where the growth formula comes from. You guys learned it in the past. So I'm going to prove to you guys growth formula. So I'll do it in this blank spot. You guys, it's already typed for you in your notes. You guys can just watch. So I have a little blank spot here. But you guys, it's all done for you right here, right? So let me show it to you. All right, before I do that, are we comfortable with separation of variables? Step 1, you get your x's and y's separate. You take an integral of each side. That's going to be, do I know how to take an integral, right? We learned how to take an integral in chapter 4 and chapter 5. The last 2 chapters, that's what we've been practicing and getting ready for this moment. This is the real stuff. The last 2 chapters were, hey, how do you take an integral of different things so we can get ready for chapter 6. 6 is the real solving the equation, okay? All right. When you guys watch this, just watch. If you guys have this equation, this is what this means. Y prime is the derivative, or the rate. The rate is the derivative, okay? When the rate of something is proportional to itself. The rate is proportional to. Proportional to means k times. You learn that kind of in Math 1. Proportional to itself. That is growth. That's where our population comes from. As long as we have no war, famine, disease, we grow at a rate. You guys have not been alive where there hasn't been a war, famine, disease. Sorry. You know, there's always been something since you've been alive, okay? All right, so, but when we write y prime, that's the same thing as dy dt or dy dx. I'm going to use the letter t. So we got ky. All right, so we're going to rewrite the equation. But instead of y prime, we're going to write dy dx or dy dt. We're just going to use the letters y and t. All right, we're going to separate. Let's separate variables. So all the y's go to the left. So dy, so this y is going to go where? Top or bottom? Bottom. So I got dy over y. Now k is just a constant, so he's going to sit there next to the dt. All the t's go to the right. There are no t's. So dt is over here by himself. K's like, where do you want me to go? Just sit there. You're a constant. You can go anywhere you want. All right, just leave him alone. All right, once you separate the variables, all the y's are here, all the t's are here. There are no t's to go with dt. He's by himself. We take an integral of both sides. All right, what's the integral of 1 over y? ln y. So ln y, integral of k. Now a lot of people go, integral of k is k squared over 2. K is not your variable. Your variable says k dt. Your variable is t. So the integral of t dt would be t squared over 2, because it's t. Integral of k dt is like the integral of 1 dt. Integral of 1 is t, integral of k is kt. So integral of k is kt plus your constant. K is like a constant. Like what's the integral of 2? 2t. Integral of 3 is 3t. So integral of k is kt. All right, now, how to get rid of ln? We e both sides. E the ln cancels, so we got our y. Now what does this e do? The c comes in front, e to the kt. And that's the growth form you guys learned. Y equals c e to the kt. You'll see that in 6.2. This is where growth comes from. So it's discovered formula, not a made up formula. So that's our growth formula. You guys will see that in 6.2. Right, you see at the bottom here. Whoa, oh, we have a lockdown. Hey, lucky you.
Locks, lights, out of sight. Students, move away from sight. Maintain silence. Do not open the door. Staff, recover students from the hallway if
I'm gonna
possible.
look real quick.
Lock the classroom door. Turn out the lights. Move away from sight. Maintain silence. Do not open the door. Prepare to evade or defend. Lockdown. Locks,